Hi, my name is Robert Chelle with Chelle Law, and my law firm assists veterinarians with employment contract and independent contractor agreement issues. Today I'm going to talk about veterinary malpractice insurance cost. So, compared to most industries, this is pretty straightforward for a number of reasons. But first, the vast majority of veterinarians in the United States use the AVMA PLIT program, which stands for the Professional Liability Insurance Trust. Most other professions, physicians, dentists, nurse practitioners, physician assistants, there are sometimes hundreds of options based upon the state. But in the veterinary industry, the vast majority of vets go through the AVMA PLIT, which has some benefits, and the main one is it's relatively cheap compared to, let's just say you're a OBGYN physician where the malpractice cost per year can be in the tens of thousands. So I'm just going to go over exactly how much it costs. So it depends upon your specialty. So they have four, and when I say they, I mean the AVMA has kind of four sections: small animal, predominantly small animal, food animal or mixed practice, and then predominantly equine. And then it's based upon the limits. So limits mean how much the insurance company is going to pay out if there is some kind of settlement or the plaintiff would, maybe go to trial and win. So the first plan is for $100,000, $300,000. What that means is you have $100,000 per occurrence, meaning the cap that the insurance company would cover would be $100,000, and then a $300,000 aggregate, which just means they won't pay out more than that per year. And then there are two other options. One is $300,000, $900,000, and then the other is $1 million, $3 million. Now, if you're a small animal, it can go from $193 up to $248. Now, $193 for malpractice insurance per year, as you can imagine, is very cheap compared to other specialties. So it's extremely reasonable. It's probably not much of a reason to not pick the higher limits, although it's extremely unlikely that any veterinary case would settle or lose at trial for over $1 million. Still, it's only $50 extra per month, so per year, so it makes sense to do that. The predominantly small and food animal or mixed practice can go from, let's just do predominantly small is $270 to $367, food animal or mixed practice $636 to $916, and then the equine $1,700 up to $2,600. So if you're doing equine stuff, it's much more expensive for malpractice insurance. One thing to keep in mind, the AVMA offers a kind of add-on policy that covers any kind of veterinary licensing board defense needs. So if a vet had a complaint filed with their state's licensing board and you had this coverage with the AVMA, they would cover the costs of your legal fees. And I will go over those costs. So they do have separate plans based upon your defense limits, meaning how much they will pay for your attorney's fees. But it's a $25,000 defense limit is $109, and a $100,000 defense limit is $142. As someone who's represented hundreds of healthcare providers before licensing boards, and $100,000 defense limit is pretty insane, and it would have to be one of the most complicated licensing board defense cases ever to get even near that. But once again, it's only $32 more, I guess $33 more, to get the $100,000 defense limit coverage, and it just makes sense to do that. So the cost of the actual malpractice, relatively reasonable. Adding on the licensing board defense is a no-brainer as well. This is one of the benefits of being a vet, is that the insurance costs are extremely reasonable, and this should not be really a deciding factor when you're moving into an organization. Now, who pays for this? If you're employed, the employer should pay for this. Now, whether they'll pay for that additional plan, excuse me, to cover your licensing board defense. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. It's only $100 approximately, so I'd be surprised if they wouldn't agree to that. But you definitely need to get that. And beyond that, that's it. It's pretty simple. The AVMA PLIT has a website that lists all this information. I'm just reading off of it right now as of March of 2023. So these the prices that I listed are up to date. But you can go on there and kind of peruse what they have to offer, and it's pretty straightforward, to be honest. So anyway, hopefully that's helpful. If you have any questions, feel free to contact my law firm at the phone number listed below in the description, or you can reach us through our website listed below as well. All right, thank you for watching the video. Take care.